Hey guys, Joe here of the Joe Madden Sports Podcast, joined this morning by Alex, content creator for Sports Grid TV. Alex, welcome back to the show. How is this beautiful Thursday treating you?
Pretty good. Last 2 days have been rough, but thank you for having me on again. It's always a blast coming on here.
Can we take the last 2 days, throw them in a garbage can, and just blow them up or something? Because
seriously,
it's been the same for me.
Yeah. Last 2 days, I've only hit 2 bets. I hit the Sandy prop on the over the strikeouts, and I had a 2-team parlay with Mets and Yankees. Nothing else has even come close. Red Sox, no chance yesterday. Astros by 2, no chance yesterday. And then the day before that, I missed like 2 other bets as well. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, I'm in the same situation. I was riding so nice, and I wasn't like bragging about it or anything. So I don't know what the betting gods are doing to me. It's not like I was sitting here totally talking myself up. It's just really not fair. These last 2 days have killed me. I know that you had that Toronto Blue Jays game with Alek Manoah up.
Yep.
How did they not win that one? Because that's another I lost as well.
This is when Vegas, they always say that Vegas is like $150 billion industry. This month is when they make like $100 billion of that, because they are everything in July. This is the dog days. This is when nothing else is on. At least in terms of the 4 major sports. Yeah. We were talking about watching some different things. I might start watching some CFL. I'm trying to get something new here because the last 2 days were absolutely brutal in the MLB. And this is just what happens. Even the players, you can kind of tell there's 60 something games. Everybody's excited for the start of the season to start off strong. You get close to the All-Star break and dudes are starting to think about that week off, going back home, going away on vacation, and crazy stuff happens. Pirates beat the Yankees by a bunch the other day too. The Reds, I was at the Reds-Mets game yesterday, but also the day before when the Scherzer pitched 7 like 2-hit innings, and I was like, incredible. Can't believe I got to see that. And then the Reds won 1-0 on a walk-off. Like, absolutely insane.
That would have been a great game to be at. Now, if you want to start looking into CFL, jump on the bandwagon with my Calgary Stampeders. They're 3-0 on the season, facing an Edmonton team tonight that they just beat. I think it was June 25th, a 30-23 win. They're only a 3.5-point favorite tonight, Alex. Definitely something.
I'm checking them out. I'm a football guy. Football is my favorite sport. I've never watched any CFL, but I'm so starving for the NFL and college football to come back that I'm going to tune in. I think I'm going to bet Calgary tonight too.
Absolutely, but don't start yelling when they don't go for 4th down. Remember, it's Canadian rules, and it screws even me up. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? And then I remember. So definitely a different game. But let's talk some MLB. I know the last couple days have been hard, but I know you've got winners for us today. What are you liking?
So I'm keeping it super simple today. What's been really working for me throughout July, even during this 2-day cold stretch, have actually been the really square 2 or 3 team parlays. Just try to do something that even Vegas can't make the call on. That is too easy. That's too free. So I got a 3-teamer today, and it starts off with the Houston Astros on the money line, which is absolutely ridiculous because they're minus 380. But that's how the last 2 days have gone. This is the first leg of my parlay. Obviously, you can't straight bet minus 380, but it's Verlander versus Bubrick. Give me the Astros today. I think they take care of business. I'd love to say that I'm going to take them minus 1.5 or minus 2.5, but the entire series they have not covered. They've won 2 out of these 4 games on walk-off fashion, and then they lost yesterday. So they haven't necessarily covered yet. I think they will today, but I can't do it today after this cold streak. So
okay,
the Astros are the
I'm going to tell you, I've taken Kansas City plus the 1.5 because it feels like a trap because Verlander's out, Buick's out. We know his ERA is inflated. So I went against my logical thinking and took Kansas City. So it's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing for anyone who's on the outside.
Would not surprise me if the Astros win by 1, just like they've won. The only other 2 games they've won this series have been by 1, which is why I'm just taking them on the money line as the first leg. And then I'm going to Philadelphia. This game also, I was really considering the over, but it almost seems a little bit like a trap over. Both of these pitchers are absolutely dreadful. Falter has a 4.88 ERA. Add-on has a 6.97 ERA. It almost seems like this over could hit in the first 5 innings. That these guys could each get shelled and give up 3 or 4. But that's when Vegas makes the call and these 2 guys decide to deliver, the best games of their entire lives, which is why I'm just taking the Phillies on the money line. They've been beating up on the Nationals the last few games, scoring a ton of runs. They did not do well yesterday, which is why I think they're going to bounce back today and hit the cover off the ball, especially against Adan. Give me the Phillies on the money line as the second leg of this parlay, and then we're ended off with the Dodgers and Gonsolin.
Okay.
Yeah. and that comes out to like plus 165. So I just tried to get to a 2 or 3 team super square parlay that gets us to plus money, find some value. Hopefully it's a non-sweater. On paper, this should be the easiest parlay I've ever placed in my life. But the last 2 days that they've been going, you just know it's going to fully reverse somehow.
Yeah. So if you're looking at all 3 of these plays, which one are you the most uneasy about?
The most uneasy? Probably the Phillies, to be completely honest.
Okay.
They have the worst pitcher out there. It's really hard to not listen. The thing with Tony Gonsolin and the Dodgers is, yes, like the Dodgers are far and away incredible, and they're probably looking ahead at the All-Star break, so you never know. Like, they could drop a game here. But Tony Gonsolin is neck and neck with Sandy right now for starting for the NL.
Good point.
And I think it matters for Tony Gonsolin because this game is in Los Angeles, the All-Star game this year. So I think he's looking over at what Sandy did 2 days ago, which was pretty much pitch another complete game, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he thinks that he's probably got to do something similar. Now, they never let Gonsolin go into the 8th or the 9th, but he gives another 7 straight innings of, 2 or 3 hits, no runs. He'll move to 11-0 on the season. It's hard to not place him in the starter as well, especially with the game being in LA. So I absolutely love Gonsolin today, and Verlander should take care of business against the Royals. He should. It's just what should happen. But what honestly scares me more than anything is that the game starts at 2:10. That's what scares me the most, is that it's a freaking day game.
I know it's a day game, and then we have the Houston Astros tomorrow. Yeah. They're probably traveling tonight because they open up a series against I believe it's the Oakland A's starting tomorrow. Yes. Then they go off. That's a 3-game series, and they have 3 games against the Angels, and then back home to face the Oakland A's again.
Listen, here's the thing about the Astros, though. The last few weeks, we've been talking a lot about the Yankees as the #1 team in baseball, and they've been fantastic.
Yeah.
But the Houston Astros, what they've been able to do, despite all the turmoil, all the crap they get, which is absolutely deserved for what came out, obviously, but the fact that they lose guys like Correa and Pena steps up, and now Yordan Alvarez has arrived as one of the best hitters in baseball this year, and he's 24 years old. Like, what the Astros are doing, I understand what the Yankees have done. I think the Red Sox, even though they've dropped a few recently to the Rays, were surging again. But I do not want to see the Astros in the playoffs if you're the Yankees, if you're any of these teams. Like, I know they think they're better and that everything with the cheating happened, but oh my God. Verlander comes off of Tommy John as a 2.0 ERA. Alvarez is like second in the league at home runs at 24. I think we just have to come to terms that this is one of the best run organizations in the MLB.
Oh, absolutely.
And they just find guys.
And they just got caught, Alex. Come on. Yeah. They just got caught. You and I are playing a game, and I go to the bathroom. Are you looking at my cards or not?
Yep.
Yeah, you are. We are too competitive of people. Athletes are just competitive. Teams are just that competitive. They just found a way to cheat and not get caught forever. Other teams got caught or didn't get caught. So
I know they did it. The Red Sox did a little bit. The Yankees did a little bit. I know it's like, obviously what the Astros did was far and away more than anybody else, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad team now, that they only won. Like, they still have incredible players. Verlander's not going anywhere. Altuve. I keep bringing up Alvarez. Listen, I would give Aaron Judge the MVP right now if it ended. But like 3 weeks from now, if the pace continues the same, where Judge has cooled off just slightly and Alvarez can't stop winning, he's literally winning games for the Astros. It's ridiculous. You're going to have to put him in the conversation. Everybody said, oh, he's only a DH. He only hits. He played left field the other day and threw somebody out at home and threw the ball at least 180 feet. I mean, the guy is a superhero right now. It's ridiculous.
It is. Okay, we got the Astros, the Phillies, the Dodgers all on the money line there. What were the odds on that again?
Plus 167. And then if you want to take any other play, I keep coming back to it. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but it's almost too hard for me to not sprinkle on the over in this game between the Phillies and the Nationals. That looks great to me. Yeah. And maybe even both of their 2 team totals, to be honest with you. But I'll probably stay away because the last 2 days. But that 3-team parlay comes out to plus 167. Hopefully it's free. I hate saying that word, that it's free money. But, I mean, we're looking at a minus 380 favorite. I mean, it's so square that it almost hurts me, and I'm the CEO of Square Betting right now. But I believe that this parlay will take us to the bank and hopefully get us back on track this week.
That Washington's team total is only at 4, the over at minus 115. We got the Phillies team total at 5 at minus 122. Interesting way to look at it.
This game would go at least 10 runs. This game could easily end 7-6. Okay. Like this There's so many hitters on both Phillies that can absolutely tear the cover out the ball. What Kyle Schwarber's doing recently is ridiculous. He's on a new level. And the Nationals are throwing out a terrible pitcher, and so are the Phillies. Neither of them have good bullpens either. But we'll see what happens. That means it's definitely going to end like 2-0 now, 100%.
Well, that was me in the Toronto game yesterday. I really thought that one would go over looking at the pitching matchup. And, of course, it was what, a 2-1 win?
Yep, 2-1 final. Dudes decide, yep, greatest game of my life is today.
Oh, man, I don't know what's happening with some of these games. Let's get back into the money today, Alex. What have you got happening on Sports Grid this week?
Yeah, so I'm going to continue to be making these TikToks. I'm going to be trying to go live on also my account, also but maybe considering trying to go live on the Sports Grid TikTok as well. And Couchside Sports is coming back this weekend. I'm moving into a new place, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully a KD trade happens. That's how I want to kick off the podcast, talking about that. But
where is he going? Where do you think?
I really want him to come to the Miami Heat. I don't know where he's going. A lot of people were talking about Phoenix, but if Ayton signs with a team like Indiana or a team with cap space like San Antonio, I don't know how they get Kevin Durant without giving up DeAndre Ayton, or if he signs away for free. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. And I hear reports that he's going dark mode or whatever. He hasn't talked to anybody, any other superstars. The Nets might just drag this out, but eventually the entire free agent market has been frozen because of this.
Yeah.
No deals are being moved. I almost wonder when the NBA Players Association, Adam Silver, are going to call Sean Marks of the Nets and say, hey, the market is literally frozen because of this.
Yeah.
For business purposes, we need you to wrap this up. We need you to move them, take a deal, get a bunch of picks. They're going to get a ridiculous offer, but will they settle on Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, Duncan Robinson, 5 first-round picks, or will they settle it on Bridges, 5 first, Cam Johnson from the Suns? Well, the mystery team, I've seen Toronto come into the mix.
Toronto too. We love him.
Yep, Masai Ujiri, always big game hunting, looking for a superstar, and he's proven that he can get a guy in and immediately turn it around and win a championship. But will they give up Scotty Barnes, a guy on the rise? It's fascinating to watch right now. The Kevin Durant watch, I don't know if we've ever seen a player of KD's caliber available for trade with 4 years left on a contract.
Absolutely. You think the Nets will just keep him? Any chance the Nets just go, sorry, you're under contract?
I think the Nets are really trying to play hardball with him and are really trying to convince him to stay and make it work. But if he's not speaking to ownership, if he's not speaking to anybody, then I remember the Rockets were trying to play hardball with Houston for a long time, or with Harden for a long time. He wouldn't speak to them. And listen, in other leagues, like we saw in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers played hardball with Deebo Samuel, said, we're not trading you. We'll see you at training camp. And he comes in and he rescinds the trade request and everything's all good. I think in other leagues it works. I don't think it works in the NBA. I think when a dude wants to get traded, he finds a way to get traded. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to have a big baby sitting on that bench and not happy with where they're at. And no one needs that. It's not good for the organization.
It brings down the whole team. I remember they were talking about it in Houston, too, with Harden, who came in out of shape. And he was just every day talking to the media saying, get me out of here. It just brings down the whole team's mood. You want to move on with your season. You want to go forward with guys who are bought into your team, bought into your system. So hopefully the Nets just hurry this up, because I want to see all the other moves, too. Colin Sexton, DeAndre Ayton, all these other guys waiting to see where they should fall and end up. All just held up right now.
Okay, so if anyone's listening from the NBA, it has to happen for Saturday for Couchside Sports show, because you guys will be kicking that off. But Alex, thank you so much for joining me here on the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. All the best in this parlay today. I got a feeling you're going to hit it. Plus 165. I like the odds. I'm going to tail you on that one. So best of luck. We'll see you back there.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, have a great week, Alex. Thank you.
Well.